going to be talking about how to correct yourself when you make a mistake. Well, it's not just one mistake. I'll go through several mistakes and scenarios and see whether you can relate. Maybe I'll share a story or two and you guys can share your experience down below. Good morning, Aisha. Good morning, My English Matters. Good morning, Abdul Akar. Great to have you all here. Lisa Aziz, hello. Adrina, hello there. Sheila Shamil, good morning. Yati, good morning. Yay, so happy to have you all here. Fael. Hi. Hi, everyone, she says. I'll say hi back to her. Okay. Good morning from Pasir Gudang, Abdul Akar. Great. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful to have you all here. Right, so our topic is how to correct yourself when you make a mistake. And I want you to share your stories as well, or tell me if you can relate or it's happened to you. And maybe you can even ask us a question, because Amna and Aisha are with me in the comments. They are, Aisha's in Shah Alam. No, Amna's in Shah Alam. Aisha's in Kota Damansara. And me, I'm in Kuala Terengganu, the beautiful Kuala Terengganu. Right. Waalaikumsalam, Julia Azira. Okay, how are you? Inshallah, everything is good. Ameen. I hope you guys are doing well. You know, in this current situation, PKPB, the only thing you can control is your attitude towards it. That's all you can control. You can't control what's going to happen next. But what you can control is how you deal with such situations and challenges, and life goes on. Life goes on, right? You can't have a life without having some challenges thrown at your life, right? Okay. So are you guys ready? Oh, Najwa, you're watching me from the maternity ward. Just delivered yesterday. Alhamdulillah. That's amazing. Hope you're well. Hope the baby's well. Okay, mashallah. Are you listening with your headphones on? I hope you are, because I don't want my voice to be disturbing the maternity ward there. Amazing. Oh, Muhammad Arifudin, I want to speak English like Madam Azim. Oh, okay, language go. Yes, you can. Of course you can. Hi, good morning from Gua Musang, Kelantan. Amazing. I love it that we have students all over Malaysia. That's great. You like your videos, William. Thank you. Okay, great. I love the positive vibes that you're sending me. It's very important that not only are you sending us all good vibes, but you yourself feel positive, all right? Okay, whatever the circumstances are, whatever the challenges are. Okay, so let's talk about how to correct yourself when you make a mistake. And I'm talking about speaking English. So I want us to just narrow the scope to speaking English. And I'm sure you can raise your hand with yes. How many of you make mistakes when you speak? Right. So you can either say yes loudly, I can't hear you, or you can type them down below if you want. Or you can even say never. I've never made a mistake. Wow, amazing. Okay. The reason I'm asking you is because everyone, even native speakers, fluent speakers, make mistakes, even though it's their first language, right? So if it's their first language and they make mistakes, grammar mistakes, mispronunciation, what more us, learners, second language learners? We will make mistakes. We will continue to make mistakes. But how do you correct yourself, or how do you recover, or how do you prevent it from happening too often? Right? You can't say I'm going to prevent it from happening ever. You just want to make it fewer mistakes, hopefully. But you know, life is as it is. You still make mistakes. Okay. Yes, people. Somebody said there. Norlila, always. Okay, always. Everyone makes mistakes. Correct. Yeah. Wow, after watching your video, get more confident. Oh, I'm so happy, Saleha. Thank you. Exactly. Yes, Raftah Hisham said, of course, people do make mistakes. Exactly. But some of us feel like, oh my God, I've made a mistake. I don't ever want to talk again. That was a total disaster. That was embarrassing. That's it. I'm just gonna give up. Some people have said that. Learners have told me they don't want to make mistakes again, so they'd rather not make a mistake, so they'd rather not talk. You know what I'm saying? I said, don't try. All right. Oh, good. Abdul Akha, when I make a mistake during a conversation, I never stop because everyone makes mistakes. Even native speaker, yes, and we learn from that. Correct. The only way is to just keep going, keep moving. Right. Zafira, yep. The most important thing is how to correct the mistake. Yes. Okay. That's what we're going to focus on today. All right. Now, okay. So what happens when, let's go to the mistake. The first mistake is what to do when you forget a word. What to do when you forget a word. And I believe this was covered also in last week's Facebook Live by Amna. If you haven't watched it, you can catch it after this. But I'm gonna talk about a few more things in case Amna didn't cover this. So, what to do when you forget a word, and so how do you correct yourself when you forget a word and you're scared that you're gonna make a mistake, right? So let's talk about this one. So I'm gonna do something new. I'm gonna show you the words that's gonna pop out, hopefully. Okay. Number one, use body language, and that's my favorite tip because I use a lot of body language just to get my message out. It helps me, and I'm not talked about it as well last week. It helps me to think about what I want to say next. All right. And it helps the listener to process what you're trying to say too, right? What you're trying to say. So using body language, for example, let's say I forgot the word microphone, right? Because I'm dealing with tech stuff. And sometimes I'm not a tech girl. I don't know much about tech. And I forget even words like microphone, the lights, things like that. And sometimes when you panic, you tend to forget a word, right? So if you're saying, oh no, where's the, you see what I did there? The mic. And people can just guess, yeah, mic, obviously she's talking about mic. So they will fill in the blanks. So if you can gesture with your hands, doing this, doing that, acting it out a little bit, that will help you to jog your memory and help other people to figure out what you want to say. Okay. Number 2, you can rephrase, right? Rephrase if you forget a word, right? You forget a word. So, or you've made a mistake when you say something and you meant to say something else, right? You meant to say something else. It's okay to rephrase. Okay. What I mean by rephrase is to start again. It's okay to start again. So you can say something like this. Oh, let me say that again. Right? Or if you're having a bit of your relationship with them is informal. Oh, let me rewind that. Let me rewind, even though no one's rewinding, but it's just a bit of fun. Let me just rewind. Okay. Or, oh, let me start again. Right? I've heard a native speaker said this. Oh, I was joking. But it wasn't a joke. It was a mistake. Oh, it's like she had this melata. So she said, just joking. But it wasn't a joke. It was just a mistake. So but it's okay. It's all right. And it makes her human. Okay. So you could do that. Rephrase, start again if you have to. Okay. All right. I hope someone's summarizing for me. It helps for you if Aisha's summarizing for me. Some of you can do that as well. All right. So you can process what's going on, what I'm trying to say. Okay. You could also say, let me say that again. Or you could also say, oh, does that make sense? So when you say, does that make sense? Then you are asking them if it does. And then you can say, okay, let me give you another example. That means you're starting again, basically. Let me give you another example. Okay. All right. The third tip, let me see. I'm looking at comments as well. Wow. Okay. Sometimes I'm lost in my own words. Yay. Okay. Great. Thank you, Mama Arifuddin. You're doing the summary too. Wonderful. Okay. Great. Okay. The third tip. We're on the third now. Yeah. Use a different word, a synonym or an antonym. So synonym is the same word as the word that you're looking for, or an antonym, right? An antonym. So if you're not sure of that particular word, so you use something simpler, right, that you can think of, if possible. Okay, synonym or antonym. Like, for example, this word, let's go back to the mic word. So the word that I'm looking for, if you can guess what it is in English, is a small mic. I want a small mic. What word am I looking for, actually? Right? What word am I looking for? Do you know what that word is? If you're a techie person, you know what I'm talking about. Let's see if you know what word I want to see whether you have that vocabulary, that word in your mind. Okay? It begins with L. It begins with L. And I wasn't sure how to say that word, actually. Oh, I like that. Portable mic. But I said, oh, it begins with L. It's L something. It's L something. Right? So, lava what? Lavalier, Lavalier. It's a word I've never used before until I had to shop for it. And I'm like, oh, it's a lavalier? What is that word? I've never heard of it. But people who are in that industry, they know that word, I think, I assume. So it's a small mic. Okay, right. Okay. Headpiece mic. Yeah, I like that word too. Easy, right? Easy for us to understand. Headpiece mic. Yes, exactly. Because you don't know that word. Lavalier is very small mic. It's maybe stuck here. Maybe it's on the head. Yes, correct. And I'm using a lot of body language too to show you what I mean. Great. Oh, first time you're hearing about that word. Yeah, don't worry. It was mine as well. When I had to shop for it, then I found out, oh, there's a word for it. I didn't know that. Okay. Let's see. Rafta. Madam, point number 2. If we forget, let me see. Let me put it up so I can see it. If we forget a word, is it okay if we delay, try to remember by asking the people, for example, what do you think about it? What's your opinion? Yeah, that's a great way. It's not in my exam. It's not in my points today, but that is another technique. So you're teaching us, Rafta. Wonderful. Yes. You can do that by putting the spotlight on other people and let them talk about it first while you try to jog your memory, not jogging, but really the word is jog your memory. And yeah, you could do that. Get them talking about it first, and then that gives you time to process, and then you take the stage again, right? You could do that, Rafta. That's a great technique, actually. It shows that you're confident because you are controlling the audience. If you are the speaker, the presenter, that is. Very good. Yep, it's fine. But again, look at the context, look at the audience, okay? All right, I'm feeling awesome. Yay, Shima, yes, wonderful. Okay, right, so that's great. Okay, so that's number 3, using a different word, either synonyms or antonyms. Antonyms would be the opposite. So you like, it's the opposite of this word. It's the opposite of this word, right? So let's say the word that I'm looking for is wallet, right? I forgot the word wallet, and I'm like, I'm looking for it's a bag. You put money in it, but it's smaller than a bag. It's smaller than a bag. You see, it's an antonym. It's not a bag. It's smaller than a bag. It's an antonym. So the person will say, "Oh, you mean wallet or purse?" Yeah. That's it. Okay. Right. Okay. Good. Yeah. Hazi Takahishi ask question. You can ask a question. And then Zafira says, let them talk about it first while we recall the correct words. Yeah, that is a great technique. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Moving on to number 3. It does relate to number 3, excuse me. Is that number 4? Number 4. See, I've made a mistake. I've made countless mistakes. Okay, number 4, ask for help. Ask for help. So obviously you can ask them for help. You're not talking by yourself. When you're talking to people. So there's bound to be people who can help you there, who's more fluent than you or more focused than you, or who's kind enough to help you out. So you can ask for help by saying, oh gosh, Susie, what do you call it again? That word? We talked about it yesterday. Or, what do you say when you, right? So ask for help. And that will make people want to help you, because when you ask for help, you are humbling yourself, and hopefully people who are kind enough to help you out. Yeah, so ask for help when you lose a word or so. Okay. Number 5, describe it. So that's the same. I mean, I've given you some examples already using the body language and all, but now maybe if you are able to be more descriptive with the word that you're looking for, then you can describe it. Okay, describe it. And that's it. I think, yeah, that's it in terms of what to do when you forget a word. And so you don't want to make a mistake, but you forgot a word instead. So you could do any of these 5 things. All right. Okay. So, all right, let me see some comments. Okay. Okay, good. Ask questions. Yep. Okay, good. Now, what about what to do when you're using Manglish? Now, I don't have the wordings for it, but this is like moving on to part 2, section 2. What to do when you're using Manglish. So for some of you don't know what the word Manglish is, but in my line of work as a lecturer, I was a lecturer, English language lecturer. We understand Manglish to mean Malaysian English, but it's more pasar, informal, right? It's a mixture of English, Malay, Chinese languages, Tamil. So it's a unique blend of Malaysian English, but the more pasar version. And we tend to create our own words that only Malaysians understand, right? So that's Manglish. It's a fun way of speaking. And what happens when you're speaking and you're using Manglish, and the audience are made up of non-Malaysians and they don't understand you. So what do you do? What to say? All right. So firstly, let's go through some words that are Manglish, and you can even type the words down below if you want to ask us if the words that you use are considered Manglish. Okay. All right. Okay. This word. Go blur. Have you heard of that word before? Of course you have. Where you always say, "Oh, I'm going blur. My mind blur." Right? When you speak English, I go blur. That's Malaysian English. That's Manglish. It basically means that your mind's going blank, right? You're going blur. Another Malaysian English that I actually have used. There was one time my audio was breaking up. It was live, right? And then there were comments saying, "Oh, terputus-putus, sound terputus-putus." And then I was trying to process what's going on, and I was reading it, terputus, sound is breaking. So I just said, "Oh, sound is breaking. And at the time, everyone understood what it meant, obviously, because they're in that situation. But I wasn't processing what I was saying, right? It's not proper English. It's not standard English. It's not correct English to say sound is breaking. Breaking? You break a sound. So, but luckily for me, no one cares because people understand. The situation was more about focusing what to do when the sound is breaking. So the correct proper English is to say the audio is breaking up, not audio is breaking. You need the up there, or something like choppy audio, choppy, choppy, choppy audio. The audio is lost. You can say that. But at the time, I wasn't processing what I was saying. I was translating things. I was occupied with what's going on, that I wasn't speaking proper English, right? So it happens to me all the time, actually. So, yeah. So that's it. What do we do? So when you're using Manglish or Malaysian English that only you understand or a select group of people understand, you can find out way before that. You can say, oh, do you understand that word? I just said blur. Do you understand I just said audio is breaking or the sound is breaking? Do you understand? And be like, yeah, of course they do. They can figure it out. So it's okay. It's okay, right? It's more about being an effective communicator rather than thinking about accuracy at that moment. So that is the tip. Think about being an effective communicator instead of thinking about being an accurate, focusing on being accurate. Okay. All right. I forgot to silence my phone. See what's going on. A lot of mistakes here tonight. Today, I just said tonight. But see, you see what happens when my mind's occupied and you're watching me live and you can see it's happening to me. All right. Okay. All right. So if you've got more Manglish words down below, you can type them so we can see that you use them all the time and we understand them. Okay, we understand them. All right. So that's what to do when you're using Manglish. I want you to also look at how people who do speak the language and they're not ashamed of it. Okay. Let's look at an example. This is not Manglish, but he speaks Singlish. The character, and let me describe to you. Let's pretend I don't know this guy. This guy, he's a character on TV. He's in a sitcom. He wears yellow boots. He's got funny hair. He's got a big mole somewhere. He speaks Singlish. Who is it? Who is he? Who is he? Let's see whether you can guess. Okay. Yellow boots, funny hair, big mole, Singaporean English, Phua Tu Kang. That's right. He speaks Singlish. It's another version of Manglish. Exactly. And he's doing it shamelessly. I mean, it's fun for all of us. It's normal because he's so confident about it. Everyone speaks Singlish with him. The whole family speaks Singlish and it's really funny. So just use it with a sense of humor. You know, if you're using Manglish, use it with a sense of humor. But at the same time, know that if people don't understand you, you can always ask, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Okay? Phua Tu Kang. Yay! PCK. That's correct. Okay, great. I have another one that's closer to home. She speaks Manglish. She tries to speak English as much as she can, but she's in a kampung, right? So people who speak Malay to her, they have to be really patient with her when she tries to speak English. All right. So this character is played by, if you guys know who I'm talking about, Ellie Mazlin, right? In what show? In what show? Kampung People. Do you guys watch Kampung People? Kampung People, yes. Sheikh Fitrah, yay. Okay, Kampung People. I don't really sit down to watch the entire season. Season 2 now, isn't it? Season 1 I didn't. But when I do happen to sit down and I'm watching it, I find her to be really hilarious. Her and her daughter, they're trying to speak English and broken English, Manglish. They're creating words up, they're making words up. But it's fun to watch and they're doing it confidently. They don't care what people say. They're trying anyway, but they can still speak Malay, of course, but then they still want to speak English. And so one thing you can admire, whatever you think about them, but one thing you can admire is their confidence, okay? But probably I would say if she wants to improve her English, she would need to take classes a little bit. Yeah, I would tell her that. But she's doing it confidently. So it's like, wow, I admire that confidence. Really good. Okay, right. Okay, Mona Kampung People. Okay, absolutely correction. Yeah, I saw that line. Yeah, Allah. So it's hilarious just watching her make mistakes. Yeah, it's fun. It's funny. It's fun. And I'm not telling you to make so many mistakes confidently all the time, but be like her. Just go on anyway. Just Just say it. Say what's on your mind first. And then after that, review your mistakes. You're like, oh God, no wonder people laughed at me. Right, okay, I will not say that again. Take note of it. Oh, I should have used another word. Oh, I used it as a verb. That should have been a noun. You can take note of it because she's a character, right? She's a character on TV. But you are the one in real life. So we are professionals. We take note of our mistakes, okay? Take note of our mistakes. That's how you do when you're dealing with Manglish. Okay, let's see what Amna just said something. Okay, if I accidentally use a Malay word, I would quickly find the English equivalent to cover it up. Yeah, if I know we have non-Malaysians in the audience, correct that. If you are, obviously it's a formal situation, then try to find the English equivalent to cover it up. But it's okay because you slipped out. That word just slipped out, so it's all right. And then just find the English equivalent, and you can say, "Oh, I just spoke Malay there. What I mean is," and then if you don't know, go back to my other points. Ask for help, body language, synonyms, and all. Wonderful. Thank you, Amna. Okay. Right. Mama Arifuddin, I'm going to watch that series after Madam mentioned. Yeah, I admire her, seriously. It's amazing. Oh, hi, Nick. Okay, all right. So what to do when you're using Manglish? Okay. Right. Okay. My third section now. What happens when what you say is untrue? So that's a mistake, okay? The mistake is, what do you say when your research or facts aren't concrete, right? So that's the mistake that you've made. So let's say you say something, but it's actually not true because you didn't do enough research on it, or somebody said, excuse me, that's wrong, right? So that's the mistake. So what do you say? What do you do? Right. Number one, you can apologize, right? If someone called you out, you can apologize. You can say, "Oh, sorry. Thank you for the information. Thank you." Or, "Oh, right, that is new to me. So you do have to be humble a little bit. Okay, you can apologize. You can say, "Okay, now I know. Thank you very much. Now I know," right? Because there's an expert there who's correcting your mistake. So just be humble about it. Don't be defensive about it. Unless, of course, your facts are true and theirs are wrong, right? So this is where you need to know how to adapt to that situation. So you can apologize, or you can just correct yourself, right? You can say something like this: "I stand corrected," all right? Or you can even use hedges. Hedges are words to soften. So let's say you just said something and it's actually not true, it's not backed up by evidence. You can say, I think, or in my opinion, and then you state your opinion, your view, and then you say, but that's my opinion. And you can throw it back to them. What do you think? So that way you still remain humble about it. You let them know that this is just your opinion. It's not 100% correct. And again, if you just said it and it's not true, apologize. This is something that I find a lot of learners, unfortunately, they're not able to say sorry because they feel like if I say sorry, I'm going to be weak. I'm going to be seen as weak. But I think sorry is a mark of bravery. Being able to say sorry is a mark of bravery. Okay? All right. Now, do you have any questions or comments? Okay. All right. Questions or comments, or maybe you want to share something. Okay. So we can all benefit. So I can read out loud your stories or your sharing. Okay. All right. So Siti Hufaida, what presentation are you doing next week? Right. So, presentations, there will probably be experts watching. So don't be afraid because hopefully what you're doing, you've done enough research and all, but still stay humble in case there's an expert there pointing out something to you. They want to add a new information to yours. So you have to stay humble about it and be open to their suggestions. That is, if they are the expert in that field. If they're not, you can just simply say, I'm sorry, that's out of the topic. Okay, so that's another technique that you can. I've just thrown it out to you. Okay, right. Anything else? Oh, Hufaida, so you're doing a final progress presentation for my research. Wonderful. All the best to you. Make sure that you're well prepared, right? You look forward to sharing. The mindset that you have should be, I'm sharing my progress, okay? And I'm looking forward to share everything that I found, things, interesting findings and all. Excellent. Okay, great. Okay. Now, I do have some motivational words to give you when you do make a mistake, several of these mistakes, using Manglish, you forget a word, what you say is not true. Remember this, don't wait to be perfect. Don't wait to be perfect. And look at Kampung people, look at PCK. They speak, they continue to go on anyway, even if their English is not perfect. But instead, focus on being an effective communicator. Focus on being an effective communicator. So keep on moving upwards, keep on learning, keep on improving. And I don't want you to just stay where you are, obviously, because you yourself know it's not enough to just be where you are here. If you're here, as life goes on, you need to get your skills, you need to improve yourself, especially language, and also continue to climb the ladder. And another tip is to get advice. Get advice. So what you can do is, if you make a mistake, and you always make that mistake, right? It's always the same. Your boss always points out, you always say this, why do you always need it? Right? And so you can get advice from that boss, go to him or her and say, okay, what do you think I should do? And your boss says, you need to do. Right? So take that advice. What if you have a grammar police watching you, right? And then say, why do you say that word? It's supposed to be this word. Your grammar is bad. It should be right? Get advice from them too, right? So learn from them as well, even though it's hard to swallow. But unfortunately, these people who are the grammar police in your life, they are actually the ones pushing you to be better, even though you don't like them, to be honest, right? You don't like them because they're pointing out all your mistakes and all, but actually deep in your heart, you know that because they are in your life, it's actually pushing you to improve yourself. You know what I'm saying? Right? So yeah, I know it's controversial for me to say get help from the grammar police. And I actually told our students who took our course, I said, get help from them. And it's not a popular opinion. But I personally, for me, I have a list of people in my head who are grammar police, and they don't know that they are. But in my head, I have people in my head who, if I think about speaking or writing, I'd be like thinking, oh my God, if she reads my work or if she is watching me, what would they say about me? And I would play out this scenario in my head, even though they're not watching me, they're not reading my work, they don't care. Their life is like, they go on with their life. They don't care about my life, to be honest. But thinking about them pushes me to work hard. Okay? So think about these people in your life who are grammar police, and motivate yourself to work hard because you don't want to be called out by the grammar police. Okay? All right. I'm not going to mention who, right? But there were people in my past. Okay? Yeah, but step up. You have to step up your game. Is that the word? Okay? All right. So Nasha alias, what's that? It's medicine. Don't taste nice, but it works. Yeah. It's like a coach, when you go for training, right? When you go for training, do you expect the coach to be really nice to you? To say, oh, it's okay, you're tired today. Let's go to my Corey. Let's have a dessert. Okay, let's have a dessert. Will your coach say that to you? No. The coach will be like, you know what? You need nutrition. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. All right. Arifuddin, as long as the grammar police, they're having a good grammar background. That's true. I'm okay to learn and get advice from. Absolutely. You need to identify correctly who's the grammar police in your life. Right. So don't take advice from just anybody. We also have students, people who email to us and say, shouldn't it be and some of them are not that nice. They'll say we've made grammar mistakes too, and we don't like. I mean, obviously, it's not nice to have people tell you in a nasty way, but is there some truth in it? So we'll end up doing our research. We're like, oh, we were right all along. That person's wrong. Or taste the bitter medicine and say, but she is a bit right. Yeah, she's right a bit. Okay, so yeah, grammar police are. Yeah, so you need to know. Yeah, you need to know whether they're layak or not to be called grammar police. Okay, good cop, bad cop. Yes, Amna says good cop, and there's a bad cop too. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Okay, right. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. All right, so I want to invite you guys to a free class that we're having. And that's when I will be teaching you some more techniques and strategies to get you to sound confident and fluent. I want to invite you all there. That's when I will teach you all some of the strategies, and I can't wait to invite you to that class. So that is happening soon. So it's called 3 strategies to sound confident and fluent in English. So you can go to myenglishmatters.com/class. So sign up there if you want to learn the 3 strategies, because today's a discussion. Today's for me to see how you feel about this thing. But there I will give you the strategies, I can't wait. I don't want to reveal too much. But be sure to sign up by going to myenglishmatters.com/class. And you will be put in a Facebook group, a private Facebook group, and you will be given times that you can join us live. Amna will be there in the comments. Aisha will be there in the comments, and then I'll be there teaching you with all the slides and stuff. So if you're interested, go to myenglishmatters.com/class right after this video, right after this Facebook Live ends, and then join us for the class. Okay, right. If I can go to my screen for a minute, so I want to show you. So there it is. Go to this website, myenglishmatters.com/class, and there you can see all the details for that class. Okay, so we'll be teaching you 3 strategies to sound confident and fluent in English on Tuesday, 20th of October, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Right, Tuesday, 20th of October, and I'll be doing that same class. If you can't join on Tuesday, join on Saturday instead, 24th of October, 9 o'clock till 11 o'clock. And to join this free online class, just register here, put your first name, put your email, and we'll cover the levels of fluency required for working adults and discover what level you're at. 3 strategies to use to sound confident and fluent when speaking English, and what you can do next to create the environment that supports your journey in speaking English, right? So we're going to be opening up our class as well. I'll be talking more about that in this session. So I hope to see you guys there. It's going to be in a private Facebook group, and you need to register to join, okay? So I hope you guys can go and attend that class. I'll speak then. You can ask questions then, okay? All right, any other comments or questions? Let me see. Okay. All right, Pochi Mochi, what's that? I used to make grammar mistakes until I realized that one day, and I remembered the expression of the person who I talked to. Oh my God, I know. But you wouldn't realize until somebody told you that, right? Point it out, even though it's not done in a nice way. Okay. Muhammad Arifuddin, thanks for today's lesson. Make dua for me so I can write and speak English fluently, just like Madam Azima, Madam Nan, Madam Aisha. Inshallah, I'm still learning. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Thank you so much for joining us. You're always doing the summary. It really means a lot. Okay. Oh, Tommy Mia. Hi teacher, selamat siang, selamat morning. Terima kasih sudi membimbing. Saya tak boleh cakap Inggeris macam kamu, tapi boleh faham bila mendengar kamu bercakap. That's great. That's great. So I hope you can join us for the 3 strategies to sound confident, even if you say you can't speak. But if you understand, then you are the right person to join our free online class then. Okay, all right. So that's it from me then. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Had so much fun with you. I'll see you soon, okay? I'll see you guys soon. Oh, I do have a bit more, as somebody said. Ooh, okay. Let me see Nordiana's before I go off. I can take a few more questions. How can I defend my idea during the proposal defense when the panel doesn't agree with my idea gently so that the situation does not become critical? Okay, you can say something like this, according to my research. And sometimes when the panel doesn't agree, it could be either because they are the expert and they know more about it, so they're trying to give you advice. But it's up to you whether you take their advice and incorporate their advice a little bit in your. Sometimes you have no choice, right? So you can take a little bit or you can take all of it. But at the end of the day, they want to see how convinced you are with your idea. And the only way for you to show that your idea is concrete, it's backed up by a lot of research, previous readings that you've done, then you've got to back it up with a lot of you need to quote them. You need to say according to the data shows. You need to be logical. You argue with them based on that, based on logic, science, research, facts. But gently. The gentleness comes in the way you speak. You can say, I'm sorry, I understand your suggestions. I believe, I will consider that. However, you can say however, but in a gentle way, as long as you're still, you're not emotional. Okay? Okay. There's a need to have enough vocabulary in order to speak fluently. What's your suggestion, madam? I do agree. We do need vocabulary for us to speak, but what you have right now, it might be good enough. It might be good enough, because I was doing my research on this one, and and they say that even if you memorize a lot of words, but then you never use these words, then it's not very useful, is it? So if you do want to have enough vocabulary, enough words to express yourself, you make sure that you will be using these words. And so do not simply memorize without having a strategy. you're going to use these words for work, for example. You're going to use these words for these phrases, these expressions for your personal life. So make sure you're using them instead of saying you have enough words, but you never use them. Okay? Does that make sense? Right. Okay. Oh, thank you, Azila. Right. Next lesson will be on next Tuesday. Can we confirm that? I'm not sure. Okay. Oh, Adila, my first time joining live. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Adila. Okay. All right. Okay. So don't forget to join us. Make sure that if you really want more attention, you want to have a taste of what it's like to learn online, especially in our situation now, PKPB, there's nothing better to do than to learn online. Be sure to join us by going to myenglishmatters.com/class. Join us for this class. It's called 3 Strategies to Sound Confident and Fluent in English. All the details are there. You can choose a time, either Tuesday or Saturday. Let me check. Yeah, Tuesday 20th of October or Saturday 24th of October. And I'll see you guys there. Okay? All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so with that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.